it didn't turn out that way. It's been heavy and we're starting to break.
There are lots of signs like this around the park, warning to stay away from the elk and the buffalo. But we hear of people getting gored and smashed every day, and the season's barely started.
I'm just out for a stroll, checking out the sights. There's a visitor center and the old Fort Yellowstone. Let's see what's around. I'm gonna make a loop around and I'll come back to the visitor center a little later.
Protective mothers. Elk calving occurs during the springtime months of May and June, disturbing the nurturing relationship between cow and calf will put you in harm's way. We haven't seen any yet, but we've heard that a few have birthed in the last few days, and they're hiding out in that brush. In another week or so, they will make their way over and be camping under these trees and around the hotel here at Mammoth Hot Springs. So that should be quite an adventure. There was one in the old days they called Snub Nose, and he liked to puncture tires on cars, and you never know what's coming next. Meanwhile, this is the old parade ground at Fort Yellowstone. It's been here since, I think, the 1880s. And this is Mammoth Hot Springs terraces coming out from the springs and solidifying. It's very dry here, so I imagine evaporation causes that growth very quickly. Olga hiked to that peak off in the distance, and I suspect she'll want to do it again. All right. This one says, preserving history, rehabilitating Fort Yellowstone. In 2025, the National Park Service will begin rehabilitating these historic structures as part of one of the largest historic preservation projects in the country. Funding provided through the Great American Outdoors Act and Legacy Restoration Fund will fully rehabilitate roofs, siding, windows, chimneys in the upcoming years. All work will comply with the Secretary of the Interior's standards for treatment of historic properties. This one is all stone. Looks like a tile roof. Lots of the places here have fireplaces that they still use, and I think some of the cabins still do. It hasn't been crowded yet, but there's a steady stream of people in the afternoon that drive out to see different sights and then make their way back to the hotel for dinner and lodging. We heard there were baby owls in one of these old trees. So I thought I'd make a walk down this lane with the old residences and see if I find them. Lots of birds, ground squirrels. Olga saw 10-foot bull snake the other day, and I'm sure we're gonna see a lot more. I saw a swallowtail butterfly today. It's the 6th of June. It's about maybe 65 degrees. It's pleasant. The wind died down. Quite often there's a breeze here. I wear a sweatshirt even when it's a little warm. There's a ground squirrel, and they call to you. Hi, little friend. They stand up like a prairie dog. They're not too afraid. They'll come within 3 or 4 feet. But then if they take off running, they head to their hole. And we heard they have their little den has an escape route in case the critters that eat them come chasing. There's the sound of a few cars and a generator off in the distance. But other than that, it's pretty peaceful. The last few nights they said there's been a aurora borealis. We haven't been up late enough to see it, but I'm gonna make an attempt this weekend. Fort Yellowstone National Historic Landmark. And this is the Visitor Center, old stone building. Horace M. Albright Visitor Center. There's a ranger. Take a stroll through. These are pretty nice additions to a trip in between going out and seeing the sights, understanding the history. People are very friendly. Look at that, even free Wi-Fi. So there's a stroll through, lots of signs, examples, maps. It's gonna be fun. Maybe not up close. I've seen one that big about this close, but I was on the other side of the screen. They came walking by the building. That was 10 years ago. You have the pronghorn. They're down in the lowlands. We saw one coming in. And the bison. And the bighorn. Look at the size of that. And in the fall they practice butting heads. And I think this one's maybe elk, mule deer, and moose. Moose is huge. Only seen one moose. That was a long time ago. Very cool. There's a bookstore here and a souvenir shop in the hotel across the street. Yellowstone landscape. Okay, here's kind of a map. And get it in focus. We are up in this far northwest corner, Mammoth Hot Springs, and there's an entrance 5 miles further into Montana at Gardner. You can go all the way across to the northeast corner, and there's a fun town out that way. And then you go south, and to the southwest you have West Yellowstone. There's an entrance there. You go all the way south. That goes into Wyoming proper, and Jackson Hole is down this way, and the Tetons, very amazing place. And you can go around the Yellowstone Lake and out the other side and see some nice little towns and some incredible scenery even outside the park. Just for reference, there's a Mammoth Hotel. Back that way are cabins. This with the blue pinstripe awnings is the dining room, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And next to it, the Terrace Grill, which is more fast food. And we've had it, it's pretty good. There is a gas station here. They call it a service station. It's Sinclair. This is at a Mammoth. But a local told me he makes the 5-mile drive down to Gardner and gas is cheaper. Well, these are the things you learn when you explore. Gas prices in the US were fairly low this year, and with fewer foreign tourists coming, it's probably a good year for an American road trip for any of you that are thinking about it or haven't done it in quite a while. We got rid of our car when we moved to Hawaii, but we made a few road trips, and there's always some unforgettable thing. It's funny, I'm focusing on the gas station, but it's one of those necessities. We had a motorhome at one point, and it got 7 miles a gallon. I only like driving at point A, point B, and park it. But Olga loved being out on the highway driving that big rig. All right, time for lunch. Olga's been working. I'm gonna meet up with her. Pleasant journeys. It's a small thing, but I just remembered there's bathrooms at the service station. And when you've been on the road, sometimes a 5-minute pit stop serves the purpose.
Hydrothermal feature at Mammoth Hot Springs. There are a few tourists. It's pretty large. You can feel the heat from here. Sulfuric rich water, travertine deposits, and there's Liberty Cap. I'm going to go all the way around today.
That's a bighorn up there.